At the beginning of the year, I started a $5 a day investment challenge. Now, the goal of this challenge was to invest $5 a day or $100 a month into the stock market over the next 12 months. Now, I selected $5 a day for two primary reasons. The first is to illustrate that you do not need a lot of money to get started with investing in the stock market. And for the second reason is that it was a low enough dollar amount that would allow a larger number of people to participate in this challenge, especially if they've never invested in the stock market before and they were interested in doing so for this year. If you think about it, we spend $5 a day on things such as coffee or stopping at the convenience store on the way home from work. So instead of stopping and grabbing that soda or that coffee while I'm out, I decided to take that money and utilize it to start investing $5 a day into the market. Now I get it. There's going to be some people that say, well, Clarence, investing $5 a day into the market is not going to make me rich. And guess what? They would be right by saying that. But if you think about it, are we simply missing the bigger picture when we have that type of outlook on investing just $5 a day into the market? Now, if you grew up like I did, you will quickly realize that most people do not understand how to utilize the stock market in order to build wealth. We didn't talk about money in my family as I was growing up because what we tried to do is to try to make enough money to survive to the next month. I mean, we live paycheck to paycheck like many other families, and investing in retirement, and let alone investing in the stock market, was not something that we talked about in my household growing up. And as I got older, I started racking up debt, and I started walking down a similar path that I saw growing up because I didn't know any better. I didn't know that there was a better way to approach building wealth. See, my story is not different than a lot of other people that are out there. And that's one of the reasons that I started this YouTube channel, is I wanted to bring about awareness that will allow people to make the changes necessary to change their financial futures. So by documenting my journey of investing $5 a day, I'm able to illustrate how simple and easy it is to get started with investing in the stock market. And over time, as you continue to invest that $5 a day, you can increase that number at any point in time. If you want to start investing $200 a month or $300 a month, that is absolutely up to you. But by starting out with investing just $5 a day, you are putting the building blocks in place to help set up your financial future. I'm not depending on Social Security to be there when I'm ready to retire, and neither should you. If you're depending on the government to take care of you after you're no longer to work a full-time job, then I personally think that that's a bad bet. So if we take a look at my investment portfolio as part of this $5 a day challenge, you'll notice that I have invested $5 a day into the market. Now there are a few days where I invested maybe $10 if I missed the prior day of investing. But the goal is to do the $5 a day. And you'll also notice that I'm investing in VOO. And VOO is a ETF that tracks the S&P 500. So it tracks the 500 largest companies within the US. So if we go over and we take a look at my P&L, you'll see that my P&L is that I'm up $1.92 on the year. And then you'll also notice that I'm up 4.26% year to date. And you'll notice that my return is in the green bar here, the green line. And the SPX, or the S&P 500, is the gold bar. So my $5 a day challenge, I'm actually outperforming the S&P 500 based on the ETF, which is VOO, that I'm invested in. And one other thing that I want you to take a look at is that I'm invested in VOO's dividend reinvestment program. So the dividend reinvestment program allows me to take the dividends that my ETF pays me, and it will reinvest it. It will automatically reinvest it back into VOO. So this particular investment pays out $1.80 per share every quarter, and every quarter I get a dividend that will be reinvested back into VOO, which will allow me to continue to grow that account over time by reinvesting the dividend that the ETF pays me just for simply owning the position. Now you can go into your account and you can turn on the dividend reinvestment program option, and every time that you get a dividend from owning the position, instead of it going into your account within Webull or whatever other brokerage that you're using, it will just go in and it will buy a fractional share of that ETF. So after investing $5 a day into the market over the last 30 days, here are the few things that I've learned. Investing in the market is super easy and it can basically be put on autopilot. And what I mean by autopilot is you just invest in that one or that two ETFs every single month, and you don't have to do a lot of research because you're purchasing an entire basket of funds, which makes it extremely easy to set it and forget it. The second thing that I noticed is I do not miss the $5 a day that I'm investing in the market. To be honest, I don't even notice that it's gone. I mean, it's $25 a week over the last 4 weeks, so it's been a total of $100. So maybe I didn't go out to lunch once a week and I was able to pull out a few dollars from that. Didn't go grab coffee or soda while I was out running errands. So there's a few dollars from there. So I just wasn't missing that money. And I think that if you participate in this challenge, you'll also start to notice that that small amount, you just really don't notice it. And over the course of 30 days, that's $100 that I was spending on things that I simply didn't need, that I was able to put into the market that will allow me to grow my account. Now, it'll grow slow at $5. I'm not gonna pretend that it's not going to, but again, it's really not about the $5. It's starting to develop the habit of investing long-term and leaving money into the account and letting it grow and letting compound interest grow your account over time. The third thing that I noticed is that by doing this challenge, I wanted to take a look at creating a budget. Now, I already have a budget, but I wasn't doing it monthly. It's kind of a loose budget. I understand how much my utilities typically cost, how much I typically spend on groceries and things of that nature. So one of the things that I found myself doing at least twice during this last 30 days was I was actually going in and writing down my budget a little bit more precise and was looking, okay, maybe I could, move this around and I could invest a few more dollars into this daily challenge if I really wanted to. So that was one of the things that I noticed, that I was looking for ways to say, I don't need this. I can take that money that I was going to spend on this thing that I didn't need, and I can put it in the market to kind of double what I was seeing from the $5 a day challenge. Now, over the next 30 days, I might start investing $10 a day, but I don't know. I like the $5 because it's easy, it's simple, and I'm really just doing this as part of a challenge to help people that have little to no experience with investing. So I might consider doing that. If you feel comfortable with doing that after investing over 30 days, then I would advise you to do it. The next thing that I learned is that the market does fluctuate every single day. Now, when I'm purchasing VOO, which is the ETF that I selected for this challenge, there were days where it was $400, $450 for a share of the ETF, and there were days when it was $445. So that's not something that I typically worry about, especially over the course of this challenge, because I do what's called dollar cost averaging. And in my larger personal account that I've been investing in for quite some time, I invest on every Wednesday, regardless of the cost. I go in, I purchase the same ETFs every Wednesday, and I do that month after month. Over the last 8 to 10 years, I've been doing that. So that's called dollar cost averaging, and I do that every week, and I've been doing that for the last 8 to 10 years. So as you can see, investing $5 a day is absolutely not going to make you rich, but you're developing a new skill that can allow you to change your financial future. If you got some value from this video, consider hitting a like for the algorithm and hitting that subscribe button. I would really appreciate it. And if you like watching this type of content, check out the next video.